Life is full of such strange phenomenon, like ghosts, cryptids, shadowpeople, aliens, Bigfoot, and the fact that we still talk to pets like they're people sometimes. But I digress. I find these experiences to be, well, intriguing and very much worth sharing. Welcome to Keeping Watch. We have a new narrator today. His name is William Dickens, and I know you guys will like him. So, let's begin Keeping Watch.
A faceless, hairless, lanky beast could potentially be lurking in the shadows of the world's forests. The rake has gained a lot of attention recently. In fact, it is a cryptid that is almost as infamous as Bigfoot. The rake has been reported on by news stations all over the world. It has indeed captured the imaginations of many. Mankind has explored vast reaches of our planet, from the depths of the ocean to the jungles. Yet there is still so much unknown. The fear of unknown monsters of the forest have inspired popular folk tales and fairy tales. The Grimm brothers' fairy tale, Little Red Riding Hood, involves a cunning predator of the woods that seeks to devour elderly women and little children. The forest has been seen as a mystical place, fraught with evil wolves, goblins, and even witches. Monsters preying on those who enter the forest. Humans have been taming the wilderness. However, as humanity expands, it further encroaches on animal habitats. This has led to increased encounters with creatures. Could it be that as we gaze out upon the forest, that these creatures are staring back? In this episode, one Reddit user recounts his encounter with a creature closely resembling a rake. We hope you enjoy. Encounter with a Tall, White Figure by u/orionstarseed. Back in 2010, I and my friend went outside in his backyard forest, which is a couple acres, at probably close to 1 a.m. to go explore. And there's a steep cliff when you first walk in. When we were standing at the cliff before the pathway leading down to the rest of the forest, I could see a tall, white, illuminated figure, and it was in between two trees, kind of moving around between the trees. I asked my friend if he saw it, and he said yes, he could as well. And then we stood, silent, with fear, and I could feel impending doom. The best way I can describe it is the feeling you get when someone dies or you are about to die. The feeling of dread inside your chest, like you are helpless. We left very quick because we had no clue what it was, and it scared us. I remember my friend yelling something at it, and it was just silent, still slightly moving between the trees. The figure was pure white and solid and seemed to be at least 6 to 7 feet tall from where we were standing, which was about 30 to 40 feet away from us. I am positive it was not a living creature or a human being, and it was not a trick of the mind or light. There was no light nor moon shining in the forest because it was pitch black and filled with pine trees. It had no physical features at all, except for very long arms. It kind of looked like how an ape would have its arms, but they were very, very long. It was pitch black in the forest, but the whole figure was sort of blurry, giving off a white light, like if you were to look at something out of focus. It wasn't illuminated to the point where it was giving off a light. It was more whatever the figure was made out of. It didn't have much movement at all, and there was no sound at all. It seemed like it was kind of just pacing right to left, or doing something weird between the trees. He has no neighbors that are close to the location, because, as I said, his forest is a couple acres, so there is no way it could have been a neighbor in his forest. To this day, the feeling that I got when I saw that still gives me shivers. Something so powerful that it emits a powerful vibe of fear and death. The fact that we went out to his forest at that time really late at night and happened to see that freaks me out as well, because it was clearly meant to be seen by us. If we went out any later or any sooner, we might not have seen whatever it was that manifested in this forest at that moment in time. Here is the location of his house, and I circled where we were, and whereabouts the anomaly was. I am not sure of the history of Matsky Island, but it directly lines up with this location. I think there is possibly a ley line underneath this location, connecting to Matsky. If there were Native American burial grounds there and a ley line connecting both locations, then that would explain the paranormal activity. There was also a small flowing river and streams close by in the forest where we saw the entity. I find this very interesting because I heard water acts as a conductor for paranormal activity. That's all for this episode. We are trying to grow our channel here at Keeping Watch, and we would love to keep reading your stories. If you have your own story you would like to share, you can send it to jacobwilhellm@gmail.com. For all of the latest updates, you can follow us on Twitter and Facebook. Unfortunately, this episode is over, but if you want more content, you can check out our other episodes. For all things rake, bizarre, and paranormal, check out our YouTube channel, Keeping Watch.